Who woke up? April was literally asleep seconds ago. Okay, seconds.
All you gotta do is put the beat
what in the
on,
world,
honey.
man?
Let the beat go. The beat is gonna drop right there.
I don't think there's any more beat in this.
When the beat drops, be like.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Claire's over here on Instagram.
How about
Y'all
y'all
still up? Oh, man. Yes, we're still up, Claire.
It's only 9 o'clock. What you mean?
I mean, it's 9:01. Maybe who's counting? You know what I'm saying? What's
Folks
the
be
deal,
going to
y'all?
bed.
So, nah, seriously, like 5 seconds ago, before the music started, April was asleep, like all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like yawning.
No,
you
for
know
real.
what I'm
Before the music, I was sitting over here like, "Babe, I don't know if I can do this tonight." But then when that music get going, honey.
When that music get going,
When that
honey.
music get going, honey.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, everybody.
So we got the regular people in here, talking about video game intro music.
You know
First of
what,
all,
that
we
video
did
game, that is
we
so
did it
dope.
last week too. You didn't even notice it because obviously you were late. You know what I'm saying? Abigail,
I
what's the
love
deal?
that song.
Good night to you.
Hey,
I like that song too.
Abigail.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Deidre, yes, that was Atari music or something like that. I'm not
What
really
up,
sure,
Deidre?
but no question. Lovely Rose, good night.
Good night, lovely Rose.
Good to see you.
Hey,
Wanda, what's the deal?
Good
Hey,
to
family.
see you again.
Madeline, watching and moving to the beat.
Yes, Madeline. I
Wait,
know you
moving to the beat,
dancing.
does that mean you weren't actually dancing? You were just kind of moving around? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Moving to the
normally
beat.
like a full-blown dance like April.
She was dancing. She was.
Yeah, Lovely Rose says you're super pumped. And Wanda's on the sleepy side as well. Yo, if you're joining us for the first time, this is Ask John and April Live. This is our normal time slot. We are we are live here in the bunker, as you can see. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's what we need to
in
start
the
calling
bunker.
this
We're
joint.
gonna
This
call it
ain't
the bunker.
this ain't even the basement
Welcome
no more.
to the
Welcome to the
bunker.
bunker.
And
you know
I
what I'm saying?
see Shanice Marshall. Hey, she's a new chime.
Oh, newbie. Wow.
Yeah,
if
chiming
you're
in.
new here, we would love to
IG
hear you.
chime,
Say,
yeah.
I'm new. I'm a new chime.
Yes.
OG chimes, of course, you can chime in too. Everybody tell us where you're coming from, where you watching from.
What's going on with you? Where's your water?
I don't know. It's right here. I don't know what that was, but where you watching
coming from?
Where you watching from?
What up, Miss Gabrielle Hart? Hello.
Do you need some water, babe?
Welcome. I will at some point.
Not right now.
Not at this moment, though. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Oh, Wanda from the ATL. Hey. Okay.
Yeah, we know where you at, Wanda.
In the ATL, honey. Yes.
June, baby. DJ and Angela Baptiste are here. What's the deal?
Oh, hey.
And Shantae1 is watching from
Jamaica. Yes.
We got Miss Gabrielle Hart from New Jersey.
Oh, what up?
The James is Yanu, I think. The James
Oh, from
Yanu.
Baltimore.
New here.
Yeah,
Wow.
from
We got some
Baltimore. I
newbies,
love
man.
Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying? We got some people from Lawrenceville,
Aw.
Faith Family, Slip, SLP. Anyway, Las Vegas. Oh my goodness, and just
Oh,
got married too.
Shanice,
Wow, congratulations. That's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dad said, "How's the new Tesla?"
Dad, I absolutely love
I
it.
almost don't know because I've barely driven it.
John traded my car in, guys, for a Y.
Yeah, so I
I
finally
traded my
got
3 in.
April her Model Y that she
And
wanted.
I mean, I want to drive it all the time. Like,
Right.
I am like, you need me to go to the store? Sure. I absolutely love it. It is such a great ride. Dad, come on over.
Yeah, Dad's supposed to be getting one.
I
man.
know.
What's taking so long?
Like,
You know
come
what I'm
on.
saying? Shuffling your feet, man.
Because,
You're taking your time.
yes. She said it's SLP.
Oh, SLP.
Family SLP.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Abigail.
Welcome.
Abigail says she's watching from Trinidad.
Oh, I love Trinidad. Yes, honey. I need to be over there with you.
So, I should know this. Is that Trinidad's flag, Lovely Rose?
Don't ask me. I'm terrible with that. And I was a social studies teacher. I should be ashamed.
Yeah. How do you? That's bad, April.
I know, it's terrible.
But you didn't make your kids learn the.
We did do that kind of stuff, but not, not all of them, but,
She'll chime in. She'll
Oh,
tell us.
man.
It may be someplace else, but we will see. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
let us know.
And Lovely Rose, please forgive me if I jack that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
yes,
All right,
it is.
good.
Okay, Trinidad.
Just making sure.
yes.
So we got Abigail and Lovely Rose from both from Trinidad tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice.
So now, Dad,
nice.
for real, you need to put in the comments right now what's taking you so long. When are you getting your Model Y?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on over.
Need to just stop fooling
because
around.
It is wonderful.
So
and
I do want to talk
you
about
won't
that.
go back.
I do want to talk about that for a hot second, and that is, we have now been driving all electric for more than a year,
Mhm.
and
Guys,
I
don't
definitely
think
don't think
I'll
I can
ever
go back.
go back.
Right.
I don't know. It's like I can't. I can't.
Dad said a few more months.
Yes.
Well, let's
Okay.
get crack-a-lacking. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I can go back.
So the real thing is,
I don't know.
okay, so
I don't
April's
know.
mom drives a gasoline vehicle still, and recently we needed to go somewhere, and I was taking her parents somewhere, and we took her mom's car,
Mhm.
and we had to stop for gas.
But I mean, you stop to charge. No, we don't actually. You charge at home.
Right. So
Yeah,
we
so you
only
really
stop to
don't-
charge
If you're on
on
a trip, yeah, that's true.
on a long trip. That's
But
the only
during
time
the
we stop to
week,
charge.
we never stop
No,
because you
never.
charge at home.
Charge at
Yeah.
home every day. So it's like every day you wake up, you have a full tank, basically.
Right.
So the issue was, I had literally no idea what gas prices were like. It's crazy how that's just a regular thing all the time, and now it's like such not a thing that I felt completely ignorant. Like I was like, "Whoa, is this expensive?"
Yeah, but then it went down. Like when I saw it went down, I was like, "Oh, okay."
The
gas
prices might have
have
gone
dropped.
down. You know what I'm
They
saying?
have, right, guys? The prices have dropped.
Rob Peters is here. What's the deal, son?
Hey.
So Rob says
Peters.
long distance trips more than 600 miles. Yes, April and I have done them. We have done
Yes, we have.
3 or 4 trips to Huntsville from Maryland, and there's no problem because there's so many Tesla superchargers on the way, so it's not an issue.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it is a lot longer.
Yeah, you're
It takes
gonna
you a lot
add an
longer.
extra hour or so.
Maybe more than that.
What,
So
is it 2 hours?
especially if you end up, in traffic or something, that really makes things longer. But
Right.
it makes it longer on your trip anyway. But you can't make up the
But then
time
you have
as
traffic
well.
and you got to stop.
Exactly.
But I don't know. For me, I don't know. It's first of all, it's made the trips better for me because I always have to use the bathroom, and before
Always.
they would never stop for me, so I would have
Never.
to hold.
Right.
And so it was like one stop
Right.
from here to Atlanta,
Right.
10 hours,
Right.
one stop.
Right. That's usually what we
That's
do.
usually what we do.
Maybe
and
2, but the
and
second stop was
I
like
would actually keep myself from drinking water,
right.
so I would be dehydrated.
Right. And
So
your behind hurts more.
for
Like now we
me-
stop more often. It's like every time that my behind starts hurting, we're stopping for
And so
another
we
charge.
stop,
I feel
we take
good.
walks at and sometimes
he said how long does it
depends.
take to charge?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on the
sometimes it's
situation.
10 minutes, sometimes it's 30. So it just
Right.
depends on, the distance between where you are in the next charging station or wherever.
Yeah.
So really it could be as long as 30, 40 minutes.
You can go from 0 to 80% in 20 minutes. So that's normally about the time, 20 or 25 minutes if you need to do 80. And it takes so long to charge from 80 to 100 that it often doesn't make sense to stay there. So they only make you charge to 100% or somewhere in there if the next charging station you won't get to unless you have enough charge. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing.
So it
And the
calculates
thing maps
it for
out
you,
all
so you
for
don't have to really, you
right.
know.
Which is pretty dope.
Yeah, the benefits, exactly.
Yeah, Ego says he loves EVs. Ego got the Rivian. Yeah.
Which is super dope.
Yeah.
Just
that joint's
getting
huge
inside of that Rivian, I was like, wow.
First of all,
very luxurious.
first of all, that's
another level.
And
that's another level.
And it's the only kind of SUV they can get because their family's so huge.
That is true.
Not just big in number.
Tall.
Everybody's tall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you need a extra large, you know what I'm saying, almost suburban like.
The Rivian is very luxurious.
Oh yeah.
So Tesla is like
a few notches down.
Yeah, a few notches down. So Rivian's a whole nother level. But I love it. Come on over. It's actually not expensive.
Ego said he was in a Tesla tonight. I don't know what for, but.
Okay.
So one last thing, and this is going to make me a Tesla fanboy, but it doesn't matter. All EVs right now, you can use your $7,500 tax credit at the point of sale. In other words, when you go to buy, instead of waiting a year to claim it in your taxes, you can actually get $7,500 off right now.
Then, y'all. Right
so it's like, that's why I got April her car. Well, one of the reasons.
And they moved my full self-driving over.
Exactly.
So that was
so the point is do it.
Bonus.
In fact, do that.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a question because I think one of the reasons I was fighting so much sleep tonight is because of stupid daylight savings time.
Yes. We want to know what you guys think about that. Do you feel like we should continue?
There should be no reason to do it still.
Fall back. What is it? Fall back, spring forward.
And we sprung forward this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Or should we just spring forward?
And leave it. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever change again.
I would rather spring forward and leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the one is, you get used to it. It doesn't matter. Just
That's
leave
true.
it that way. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's this one or that one, I don't think that really matters. I'm just saying I don't want to change it anymore. And I'm saying the reason they had daylight saving time, I think the reason we invented this is because of agricultural, farm life and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we're not a farm agricultural kind of culture anymore. We are very much a technological culture. Who's benefiting from the daylight savings time?
Yeah. It's hard to change that, though, after it's been so long.
No, it's not.
I think that's what is being... Like, I don't understand what the fight is. Like, why we aren't going on and just changing. I'm not sure what it is.
Rob says he hates it. I hate it. Leave my hour. You know what I'm saying?
Just
here's the thing that's weird for me. Whenever we spring forward, the night after, like the next day when I wake up, I actually feel energized. And I don't know why, because I just lost an hour. Whenever we fall back, I always feel mad tired.
Falling back is worse for me.
But it feels counterintuitive.
Forward.
It feels like falling back. I gained an hour. Like I go to bed at 10, and I normally wake up and it's 7 in the morning. But when I wake up at 7, it's actually 6. Is that how it works? Yeah. Or when I wake up at 6, it's actually...
No, when you wake up at 7, it's actually 6.
The point is I gained an hour.
Yeah.
It feels like I should be really rested.
Yeah, that's right.
But for some reason, whenever we fall back, I'm dumb tired that day.
Falling back is worse for me than springing forward. Fall back, I'm dead. No, it is terrible. That's what I'm saying. Spring forward, leave it.
So I'm actually good the day of springing forward, but the rest of the week I have a problem. Like this whole week I've been struggling every day since Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Because Sunday you wake up and the time has changed.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Lovely Rose says, I don't think I can get used to that.
Yeah.
It's too much, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's too much.
I wish we literally did not have to do it anymore. I wish we would stop it. But it may not change.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whose job it is to make that happen, but
the government, they're trying to, I don't know.
Are they trying to do something?
Yes, babe. They're having a whole thing on. There's a huge fight right now. Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Wow.
And that has been the question that's been asked.
Why are we still doing this mess?
I guess to Congress, I guess. And I don't want to name the wrong thing.
Right.
But anyway, yes, because a lot of politicians are being asked that question, and they're like, one guy, he was like, I really don't care, but there's always somebody who's saying, who goes against it.
Right.
There's always that one person.
Right.
So they are fighting about
So
that.
Abigail says they don't do that. So she thanks God they don't even do that. So at Trinidad, you are immune to this problem.
That's good. Great. Like, we should not be doing it either.
And Rob is reminding us, too, some places don't do it. I remember
some places don't do it. That's true.
When we were at the seminary, I think Indiana didn't do it.
Right.
So it was like during certain times of year, you could leave Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody was just telling me this the other day.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you could leave Andrews, which is in Berrien Springs, Michigan, and go down to Mishawaka, which is like South Bend, Indiana, and because the time didn't change, it was actually earlier there. So she said sometimes they would like leave for a movie that starts at 8, they would leave at 8. And when they
Right.
got there, it was 7:30.
Right.
And so they were fine. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I would that'd be
Yeah.
cool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's one of the places that doesn't
Yeah.
do it. And I don't know how they can
Yeah, I
decide
remember
to
that.
opt out. But
Well, then they just need to decide.
can we just opt out? Like, what if can we just be like, yo, we're not doing it?
No, you can't because. What do you mean we?
Me and
who?
you, like, we're just like we're
No,
opting
baby,
out
because
from
then you
daylight
have an
savings time.
appointment and you miss your appointment.
Nah, I just tell people, tomorrow at 11. You know what I'm saying? And it's 10.
Oh my goodness. That would not work.
I'm
babe.
opting out from now
That would
on.
not
You know
work.
what I'm saying? That's my last daylight savings time that I ever do.
Oh my goodness.
All right, babe. So we got to get into the topic for tonight. Tonight's topic is, do I gain more than I lose? I said love
Oh.
in marriage. I wonder if I have that typed spelled wrong somewhere else too. Is it spelled right in the?
I don't know, babe.
Okay, it's right now.
Okay.
I want to know, is it right in like my show notes and stuff
I
like
don't
that,
know,
and
babe.
on the thing and all that
I
junk?
don't know.
That would be
Just
hilarious.
Read it again now that it's spelled
Do I
right.
gain more than I lose when in marriage? So what are we really talking about here? Do I gain more than I lose? I think that there are some stereotypical things that men and women feel that they lose when they get married. And maybe it's true. Maybe it's not true in every marriage. I don't think everything's true in every marriage. So, and maybe it's not. But I want to start by talking about what I think guys think they lose when they get married.
Okay, go ahead.
First of
Now-
all, do you think women think they lose something when they get married?
Well, I think some may feel when they get married they lose. Yes, I do believe that some. But what I was going to say was I think that some don't feel it until they get married.
Oh,
And then they're like, oh man,
so
I've lost A, B, and C.
okay. So
know
for
what I mean?
yes, I do know what you mean. But let me ask you this way, because now you're saying something that I'm wondering about. As a guy, there are some stereotypical things that we talk about and joke about, and that they joke about on TV and stuff
Yeah,
like that
yeah,
all the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
that we know we lose when we get married. Is it the same for
That
women?
you know you lose?
Or we think we're going to lose?
Wow, that was revealing. That
just
was
saying.
revealing.
I'm just saying there are
Let's
some
talk
things.
about that. Let's talk about that. Go ahead. Let's
I want
talk about
to.
that because I want to know if you feel like you've lost that.
All
Like,
right, so
I wanna-
I'm going to
okay.
start by telling you what it is.
All right.
I'm going to tell you what guys think,
Okay.
and then you can ask me later on whether or not I think I lost that.
Okay. Before we get into this, though, we want you to share. I don't know if you said that.
I did not
don't
say that.
remember you saying
I did
that.
not say
Okay.
that. Share right
Yes.
now.
Go ahead and share, guys.
So
That helps us out a lot.
if you're on YouTube, we want you to like it. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. In fact, our analytics show us that most of the people that watch our show have not actually subscribed. And it's free, so you can do that. And subscription doesn't do anything to hurt you, and it helps our channel.
Right.
So feel free to do it.
Exactly.
But anyway, definitely share it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I think guys think they lose.
Okay.
I'm just talking about guys now,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't get in trouble. I think guys think they're going to lose their freedom in some particular areas. I think guys think they will lose like their freedom to come and go as they please. They'll lose their freedom to just buy stuff or just do things. And I think most guys that don't want to get married, that's
the
their
reason.
main reason. Well, there might be a couple others. There may be some guys who don't want to be monogamous, so that could be another reason. That might be a bigger reason. I really don't know actually.
Yeah.
But I think a huge reason for guys who want to get married that don't get married is because they feel like they're going to lose their freedom. And
I know
don't-
some guys who could get married at any point right now.
right, like they're not having any
And
trouble,
they
right? They're
choose not
like
to.
eligible bachelors.
Yeah. And they have expressed that those are the reasons why.
Okay.
Like that. I mean, so I believe based on, the friends that we know,
Yes,
who
that'd be the
say,
reason.
and they say I don't want the ball and chain and all that stuff.
The old ball and chain.
the idea of not being able to do and go and be the,
So so real quick, you realize what the visual is of the ball and chain, right? No,
yeah,
seriously.
It's on the leg, it's on
not
the
just
ankle.
that. It's not just that. It's that your woman literally holds you down. It's like and holds you down in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like we say, she holds it down for me. That's a good thing, right? But that's not what I mean. I mean, I gotta literally carry this weight now. You see what I'm saying? That's a really, really, really derogatory way to call your wife.
Is.
Like seriously, to refer to your wife. That's pretty bad.
So
I've never called you that.
You better not have. The old ball and chain. Yeah, you better not.
So I do think that's what guys think of marriage, that it's a I'm losing my freedom kind of thing.
Okay, so let's go back to the way that you reacted. I mean, the way you spoke. You just spoke. You thought
I revealed something like I also thought I lost something.
You did. You just said, because you can't do this. You spoke like it was,
like
personal.
It's me who lost something.
Yeah. So do you feel that you have lost that in your marriage? Do you feel like, you've lost those things? Being able to just buy when you want or do what you want, go where you want, do whenever.
Yeah.
And not have to, some people don't want to have to answer to anybody.
Right.
And it's not necessarily.
So
it's not answer. Well, I don't want to go there.
So we need to go there too, but not right now.
Okay.
So my situation might be different than a regular guy. I've never considered what I lost. I've never thought of it that way. But it could be because we got married so young.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really experience having money. Okay, so we dated in college, right? I got a real job in like August of 2000, and we were married in December of 2000. So I didn't have enough time, in my opinion, to feel what it feels like to be free to do whatever I want with money and stuff like that, and then to have it reversed when I get married.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I said some people can feel this after they get married. So after you get married and you're in it and you've been in it for years, and you say, "Man, I wish I didn't have to do this."
Nah,
I
never thought that.
Okay.
I've never felt that. I never thought that. Now, I have felt like that I have sacrificed things for my family. Things that I might have done differently had I not been married or had children. There were some things I might have done a different way.
Same, yeah.
But that's not really the same. And that's what we're talking about now, I don't think.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, move on.
All right, so give me yours. For women, do you think women feel like they lose anything when they get married? And what is it? Is it the same as the guys, or is it different?
I think that it is somewhat a freedom. I do believe that. But I think it's a different thing.
That women lose their freedom?
Yes, but I think it's in a different way.
Okay.
So I think some women feel like, okay, now I have to be dependent on by everybody.
Be depended on by everybody? Okay. So
Right.
everybody needs me.
Everybody needs me.
To be able to do whatever.
I now have to do or be in charge of making sure everything gets done.
So
I do believe that women, can feel that burden. And it's not all women, but I do think that it's like it falls on you when it comes to the house.
Okay.
Or when it comes to, and I think that is a, stereotypical. It is, the culture of our country.
Yeah.
That would that you'd have that feeling, even if it's not the case.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
But I do believe that sometimes that it is the case.
Okay.
And you come in and you feel like, man, now I have to be burdened with making sure everybody eats, making sure things are clean, making sure we have our doctor's appointments, making sure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make your own doctor's appointments, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't keep yourself healthy and make sure you...
So hold on. Now, is this turning personal? Because,
No.
You do the doctor's appointments in our house. I have never, one time in my entire life, made a doctor's appointment.
That's not true.
When have I made one?
You call the people sometimes.
No, I don't.
Email the people.
Yeah. That's different. Okay. That's different.
You have done that. Well, that's true.
That's very different.
Okay. Well,
the point is,
I do believe, though, that women can feel that they lose themselves in that.
Mm.
I am so I'll say that. I won't say freedom. I'll say lose themselves.
Okay.
Because since you said freedom, I won't
Yes.
use the same thing. But
Okay.
it is a somewhat of a freedom. But
Okay.
I'll just say lose themselves, because now they are not only, but they are now wrapped, everything is wrapped into now making sure that I am the caregiver.
Okay. So you said a lot there, and I need to
You know?
I need to unpack a couple of those things,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Let me just ask you a couple questions first. First of all, I just said that I think men anticipate that they're going to have this problem before they get married because of the way culture is,
And
right?
I think some women anticipate that before.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
Do you think?
I do.
Okay.
I do believe that some do, and I think it does vary because of experience, age, if you've been married before,
Yes.
whatever. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And I think like I wasn't even thinking about that when we first got married. Matter of fact, I was not thinking about that so much so that when we did get married,
Mm-hmm.
and you revealed some things,
Uh-huh.
and I found out what you wanted me to do, I was like, what? I didn't think I'd be doing that.
So you're
I'm
saying
21,
So you're saying
you know?
you're in the camp with the women who did not anticipate this before you got married. You got married and realized later, oh shoot, this is what he wanted.
Right. I didn't know that. I didn't think that.
Right.
And then I think that's what caused some little things, because
Right.
I wasn't ready for that. I actually was not ready for that.
Okay, so do you think you lost yourself?
Not initially, but I do think there was a time where kids, and it was like, I didn't know, like, what do I like anymore? What do I like to do? Wait a minute, hold up.
Who am I?
Yeah, I guess who am I? But like, what do I enjoy? I don't get a lot of that anymore. Hold up. And so I kind of had to step back and say, wait a minute, I'm about to lose myself. Let me now be a little bit more balanced and figure out how I can do this and not give myself so much where I don't even know who I am anymore. You know what I mean? So I
Yes.
do believe that happened. But that can happen when you are, working full time, you got little bitty kids, and you going and going and going, and you can get lost in that. And I think that's what happens. You get lost in all of that, which needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I do think that there has to be a balance there. You got to figure out how to get that balance.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that what we stand to gain in marriage is the title of the show, right? Do I gain more than I lose? And maybe this is the wrong way to think about it, because honestly, I never thought about marriage as a losing proposition. I never thought about it as I'm going to give up something. That's not true. I knew I'd be giving up things, but I just didn't think of it as a losing proposition. I thought that I would be gaining so much more that what I lose isn't even really a loss. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of how I thought about it. But I wonder, I just wonder if, so what are some of the things you gain? Like, what are some of the things we gain from being married? And do you think those things, obviously we're supposed to say yes.
yes.
We're going to say yes, that we gained more than we lost. And we do believe that, obviously. But I don't know if it's the same for everybody, because I don't know. I don't think this works if you're in an unhealthy relationship.
I agree. I feel,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
really believe that you have to be either, even healthy relationships, I think there could be a time where you feel like, man, I've lost myself. Or,
Yeah.
man, I've
Like
lost
you said, it
whatever.
happened
Yes,
accidentally.
exactly.
Yeah.
You didn't plan on it
Right.
or feeling that way.
Right.
But I do believe that once I come to you, my husband, and I say, I feel like I've lost myself, or I feel like we need to talk about this because this isn't working for me personally.
Right.
Then and your spouse is not willing to do anything to help make some changes, so that then I think that's a problem. But again, when you have a healthy relationship or you're working on a relationship to be healthy, you have to be willing to be open to what your spouse needs.
Right.
And I think that is one thing I do believe that may be difficult for some people, and that is when the time comes. I mean, we actually had a couple friends who were a couple who, the wife was like, he gets whatever he wants. He, everything goes his way.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
And so I do believe that there are times when there are people who are very selfish,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's not going their way, then they are not going to be for it. So, and again, I guess you're talking about healthy relationships where you don't have super, selfish people, but you
Right.
do. We're all selfish
Yeah.
in some
Right.
ways.
Of
So,
course.
so I do believe that you could get in a situation where you could have a couple where a spouse is super selfish and doesn't
Mm-hmm.
really want to give their spouse what they need in order for them to feel free in the relationship,
Yeah, I agree with that.
you know?
So,
Or the need is so big that they have that they feel like, I really need this.
right,
Like, I need you to take care of the home
right,
this way.
right.
Like, there's no, like, you try
Like no
to
wiggle room.
allow, you try to give your spouse what they need in that, and then when you
Mm-hmm.
give it, you feel uncomfortable, you don't like it, you can't,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't function.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, and some people feel like some men need a mother, and that is what you end up being as the wife, and that can become burdensome.
Because you're just
Listen,
taking care
I'm
of this
just,
person all the
and
time.
I don't mean to say things that are, but I'm
You
just
don't mean to say
talking
things that are
about,
what? Like
I don't know.
transparent? Like
Whatever.
honest? What
I don't
you
know.
understand? You know
I'm
what
just saying. I know that some women feel this way,
So I
and
think
I'm not trying to just stay on the women.
Of
We
course
can go
not.
back to the
Nah,
men
I mean-
because some men may feel like
I think men are pretty simple when it comes to this though. I think we accept, and maybe it's because we make fun of it so much. I think most men accept the fact that this is part of what it means to be married, and if they get married, they say, I'm just going to live with that. It's not that deep. So, I'm not going to be able to come and go as I please. There are going to be times when I feel like my wife is, maybe extra something about me leaving again or something like that. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just stay home, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's something men kind of just accept as part of the transaction, and it's fine.
I don't
I
think
think
men accept that.
you don't think so?
I
Okay,
think
tell
that
me
they-
why.
Well, I just think that they might handle it differently, but I don't think they accept that. I think some men, really resent that,
So
and they may actually have.
I think
and
most-
by the way, the IG chimes, I'm seeing 100. I'm seeing bullseye. I'm seeing praise hands. So I think that
well, somebody said, this is Shanice Marshall. Everything is wrapped around the family I'm creating. So is she basically saying that, because we agree with this, you get to choose how your family is going to be, and so if you want your relationship to be a certain way, it can be that way,
Yeah,
and so it doesn't have to be.
And we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that. I wasn't ready to start reading.
So
But
black rum says we tolerate it.
Okay, so there you go.
Okay, so we don't accept it, but we tolerate it.
And that is what and
That's what you wanna say.
That's exactly what I
So
want to say.
men tolerate their
it.
wives not letting them be free or whatever.
If that's what you want to call it.
Right.
Just call it that. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
And I do think that it turns into resentment at some point if it is not dealt with.
Maybe.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. We also
I
did-
have
we all
seen
we,
that
we also
joint
we also gonna
turn
talk
into
about
resentment.
we also gonna talk about how we can give each other the thing that we need in the relationship so that we don't feel like we lost something.
Yes.
But
So
anyway.
so what do we gain? Do we want to go there
Yes.
right now?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. We definitely gain companionship.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
We gain I want to say we gain a bunning partner.
You
And
do
if you watch
gain-
the show for the first
you
time,
know
you
what
don't
bunning
you might not
is.
know what that is. If this is your first time, you might not know what that is. You
So
can figure that out though.
Yeah, you can use context clues.
Exactly.
Yes, you have a bunning partner.
Yeah.
If the bunning is good.
Yeah, I mean, it could start off bad, but we learn each other. We get
That's
better.
true.
You know what I'm
That's true.
saying?
If it's yes,
Yeah.
if you're being intentional about.
I'm saying
yeah.
that's a positive thing
That
that comes
is.
from marriage. That's like,
I-
oh, this is great. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
you have a teammate,
Right. Somebody to do life with.
somebody
Yeah.
to do life.
Somebody
with.
you could depend on.
Yes, somebody you can confide in at a different level.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes, because you should be able to confide in your spouse in a way that you
That
couldn't
you
confide
can
in others.
confide.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you know what? Honestly, let's just be 100, babe. Honestly, I think most relationships, or maybe I should say a lot of relationships, maybe spouses don't confide in each other as much as they do their best friend.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but
Maybe
still, that's still something you can gain, and that you
Yes.
do gain.
Right.
I think.
I think so too. And there may be some things that I would confide in you that I would not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So
I agree with that.
yeah, there's
So-
a friendship there that's going to be different than
Yes.
any other friendship.
So I'm gonna just say it right now and just be 100 because this is definitely how men think. But I think women would think this too if they really think about it. I think it's nice when you get married to gain somebody that will take care of you, like if you're sick.
yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like, just 100.
yes.
Like,
no, that's
like
true.
your friend might not come over if you have the flu, but
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife's gonna take care of you and get you some
Exactly.
soup. You know
No,
what I'm
that's
saying?
true. Even if you mad at them, you're going to take care of them when
Right,
they sick.
right.
That,
You know what I'm saying?
it's so,
And I'm saying that's a
no,
benefit,
that is
man.
very true.
You know
That
what I'm
is very
saying?
true. That's a huge benefit.
It's huge.
It is.
And by the way, I would say for believers, if you have the same theology we have when it comes to marriage, for believers, you actually, I think, gain a way to get to heaven.
Listen, hunty.
Because marriage, like,
you have to.
it sanctifies you in a way that other things can't. You know what I'm saying? Literally.
Exactly.
As you're trying to be selfless and trying to be, spiritual head of the home and do the
And
best for your wife,
listen.
even though she's not being whatever. You know what I'm saying?
and,
That's
and submitting to one another.
right.
You
Right,
know,
right.
doing things that
Yes.
you necessarily would not choose, but
Right.
you're doing that because your spouse
Yes.
would like it to be done that way, or
Right.
would like to go here or go there, whatever.
Right.
You are definitely learning how to be more like Jesus.
No question. So here's what I was gonna say though. The list we just gave of stuff that you gain is much longer than the list of things that we say you would lose. But I don't think that's automatically the metric for saying that what you gain is better than what you lose.
Right.
Because I think it depends on what you value.
That's true.
Like if you value your personal time, if you value your alone time, if you value your ability to make decisions without checking in with somebody, if that's like your highest value, then honestly you might not be as happy married as you would be single.
Yeah. And
You know what I'm saying?
if you want to bun multiple people,
That's
you
the
know,
other
I
thing.
mean, why are you getting married? Like, and bunning multiple people in the marriage, that is not.
That's not good,
you know,
obviously.
No, that's
Right.
not good. So I think those are things that when you're making that decision. But sometimes I think people don't realize once they get in it, I didn't know I was going to lose this.
Right. I think that might happen more than because a lot of
Yes.
us, when we get married, our head is in the clouds the first time around, whatever.
Right.
You're like kind of like,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
assuming
not-
it's going to be like this, and then you're always disappointed
Exactly.
because it's usually not what you thought it was going to
Okay, so this is the question. Should I be sharing then with you before I get married the things that I want from you
be. Absolutely.
so that when we get there, I'm not surprised?
Yes. I actually think we would avoid way more of the catastrophic sort of letdown that you get in that first, couple of months of marriage.
Yes.
If we articulated to each other what we wanted from each other. And
Yeah.
even if what we want isn't like realistic, like, I mean, I think it's better just to say it.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better to be like, this is what I think I want from my wife. In fact, maybe I should say it that way. Like, here's what I think I want from my wife. And then you can say, oh, that's what you want from your wife? You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, oh, maybe that's not what I want. But no,
Right,
okay, I think
right.
this is what I want. And then
Right.
we can go back and forth talking about what you think being a wife is like and what I think it's supposed to be like. We can go back and forth talk about what you think a husband's supposed to be like and what I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now at least we have some framework for knowing where the other one is coming from. It's not just out of the blue. Once we get married, you find out for the first time that these are the things I want.
But I do think that when you're coming in marriage, you have to know that there are some things that you are going to do that you're basically going to be giving in on those things. Like there may be some things that you don't really like doing or that you don't care for, or you really, you would rather it be where you don't have to necessarily ask to, I don't know.
Buy new rims for the car.
Exactly.
But we
But
know
you
that's
do that
something you have
because
to
you
do.
know that is best for the marriage to stay healthy. You know
Right.
that's best.
Right.
So I'm willing to do that.
Right.
So there'll be some. So really, really, honestly, there needs to be. I have non-negotiables
Right.
because think about it. You can submit to some things and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I know that's probably best
Right.
for the marriage and for our relationship.
But maybe
and I'm okay with that.
But maybe I have a thing. It's non-negotiable. I can't budge on this one.
Exactly. Like, you know what, I'm not doing that
Right.
because of A, B, and C.
Right.
And if you aren't down with that, then this is not gonna work.
Wow. Now let me.
And
hold on. Can we just be 100 real
okay.
quick? I don't know. Okay. If
You may not know the non-negotiables until you get in
that's
it.
Not, that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say.
Okay.
That's a scary conversation if you really want to get married.
Scary.
Because if you really want to get married, what you're thinking about is, I don't want there to be anything to jeopardize her wanting to marry me. Mm-hmm. And so I may be willing to actually lie to myself and act like I don't have this need or this desire or whatever, because I don't want to articulate it, because if I do, you might be like, I can't marry you. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be better to just put it out there.
Yeah.
And even if it does break up the marriage, that's better than going down that road. I don't think it's going to.
Right.
I actually think in most cases, what you say that you want maybe is sort of like, here's what I want, but it's in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what you want yet. And I'm just saying this. And once I hear what you say, then I say, you know what? Okay, you know what? I don't have to have it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I actually think in most cases, it probably won't break you up. Mm-hmm. But I think that's the fear. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
I think most people are scared to even have that conversation.
Man. And then if they do have it, I do believe that there will be
What happened? You're sleepy, so you can't remember stuff?
That's why I'm laughing. Where you can't find what I was about to say. We can't find the word. That's not what I was. You know, I'm done.
I literally have no idea where you're going, so I can't even finish your sentence.
I'm like, John,
I have no idea.
always
I can't
give
even
me the
help
word.
You. What are you talking about right now?
The tendency to.
Okay.
And now I don't know what we were talking about.
We were talking about how nobody wants to have that conversation because they're scared that they're going to break up the marriage.
Oh yes. You might end up saying, like you said, I'm fine with that, when you really aren't.
Right. Most people are going to over-exaggerate.
I was
going to
say something else, but that basically sums it up.
That's good. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a few chimes. Because we have a lot of comments here.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think we should share some things that we believe about. By the way, you should share right now. Share this if you haven't shared it yet. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. But we should share with the audience, we'll do that right after we take some comments, ways that we think marriages could operate so that you don't actually lose as much as you think you're going to lose.
Right.
And I think it's possible with the way you set your marriage up.
And I also think that if you're already married, you can still have the conversation.
Absolutely.
I do believe that.
I
do believe you should still. If you haven't had it, and there are things in the marriage that you do want to discuss, that you have non-negotiables that you have not expressed.
Right.
I think that even in marriage, you can still have that, and you can talk about it, and you may need a third party to help you through that if it gets to the point where, there's some things you don't want to budge on. But But I do think that it's important.
Third party like us, like those kind of people?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
That's what we're here for.
Okay. So Madeline says some people lose some kind of freedom. We know. Primo says, I don't like to use the word lose, but marriage requires sharing time, space, money, and decision-making and more. So he's saying some people might think of that as a loss, but he doesn't like to think of it that way, which is good because his wife is probably watching this tonight. Lovely Rose says, I don't think I lost anything. I'm still independent, but I lose my patience.
That's funny.
That's really good. Abigail says, I'm with you on that, Lovely Rose. Okay, so she says the same thing. I think men have an issue with accountability.
Ooh.
So okay, so what you're saying is where we would say we lose our freedom, you're saying a man really just doesn't want to be accountable to anybody. That's interesting. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, I think
just because I'm a man.
I don't necessarily think that it's a man or woman. I think that's a human thing. I think you have some.
You think human beings don't want accountability?
I think some humans.
Okay.
I think it depends on the personality or the person's upbringing. I mean, there's a lot that's behind why that person can't take accountability. Doesn't have accountability. Won't take. What am I saying?
Take accountability.
Yeah, take accountability. Yeah.
Terry Park says you better nota. And I don't know what he was talking about there. I wish I knew what we were talking about.
You better not have said, I think it was about you saying that you feel Remember when we first started
Oh,
talking?
oh, oh, right. Because you asked me, do I feel that way? Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
I didn't lose anything.
So let me just say what Shanice said on here. She said, we went through that stage before we got married, and I'm thankful it happened at that timing, and now our relationship is so much better.
Okay.
That's great. So I guess expressing beforehand those expectations or the, non-negotiables, being transparent about that beforehand.
This
so
is
that
what
when
having
you're
that
in
conversation early helps with, man.
yeah. And
It's
I'm
so much
telling
better.
you, when you're not surprised when you get in that thing,
Right.
it is so much better.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abigail is agreeing with you now about what it's like to be a wife. She said it feels like being a manager.
It can. It can. It can feel that way.
Ansem says, what's up, Ants? This is why people hated Jesus, man. All this truth-telling
Telling
and stuff.
Exactly. You gotta tell it.
Here goes
And
Rob.
listen,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just have to say when she said this feels like being a manager.
Yeah.
So we had we went and did this marriage retreat, and at that marriage retreat, I remember talking to 2 or 3 couples. I think it was 3 that all had the issue. They all had the same real. It came down to having the same issue, and that was the wife feeling like she had to do it all. And these were young marriages. This wasn't like, these people were in their 20s, early 30s, whatever, and feeling like that. And I think we were talking about this earlier about how we feel like you guys, and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but,
Nah, it's your show.
in marriage,
Isn't
we
your
should
name
be able
on the
to.
show?
I know, but we're a team.
Nah,
babe.
please,
We're
girl.
a team.
Talk.
We should be able to basically have a clean slate, clean canvas, and we say this all the time. You draw what you want.
Yes.
But I think we have so many pressures from family,
Yeah.
from friends,
Yeah.
from society
True.
that make us think we have to do it like this. We have to have our marriage has to look like this.
Right.
And really, it can look like whatever you want
Right.
for your marriage. If whatever your values are,
Yeah.
it can look the way that you guys choose together as a couple.
Yeah.
But it has to be that both of you agree.
Right.
But it doesn't matter if
It's y'all's
everybody
marriage.
else doesn't agree. But I
Right.
think we're so caught up in, and I mean, I really believe family is a big one.
It's a huge one because
a huge
because
one.
you're gonna have to now
Now you have
demonstrate
to
in front of your family.
explain why you're doing it this
Right,
way or that
right,
way.
yeah.
When really you don't have to, but
Yeah.
you feel like you do.
Right.
Yeah.
So here goes Rob. All that's lost is not bad, and all that's gained is not good. Much depends on the people and the relationship. Okay, so we didn't really get
Okay,
into this, but you
okay.
were absolutely right.
Yes.
Because there are some unhealthy relationships where you gain a bunch of bad stuff.
That's true. That's true. We
You
think about the
gain
word
toxicity.
gain.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
yes.
you're right. Loss and gain
Yes,
doesn't necessarily have to
yes.
be bad and good. You
That's
can
true.
gain a bunch of bad stuff and lose a bunch
Lose
of good stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Some people cut their families off that were great families that they were a part of for an unhealthy relationship where they lose their family and now gain toxicity.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's definitely a different show, but you're absolutely right about that.
But you know what we meant, though, right?
Yeah, he knows. Ansem says, I think that's why Methuselah waited until he was 502 to get married. He had to find himself first.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny.
Yeah, man. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
go fact
goodness.
check that. I know he was in his
Yes.
500s, but I know
That's
it's 502.
hilarious.
Madeline says we gained a friend, a partner, a companion. There are some of
Those are some of
the stuff we gained. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
Abigail says I've gained strength and maturity, having a good partner and a friend.
Yes.
Kagia says bun. That's what he
He's
gained.
gained a lot of
There
bunny.
you go.
You know?
There's nothing
That's-
wrong with that,
That's
Kagia.
wonderful.
Boy, what's up, man? I agree
Hey.
that we expect that we won't be as free
To
and
go and
to go and come as we
yes.
please. So he agrees with that. That's
Yes.
that's what
So
that's the
I'm
expectation.
going to stop here for a second
ahead.
because when you said, Abigail, I gained strength and maturity having a good partner and friend, and I agree because I think that we sometimes are in marriages and we feel like any conflict is a loss.
Right.
But we don't realize that it should help us grow.
It does.
I believe that I have grown so much more as a person
Right.
because of this man telling me about myself. And I'm
same
saying,
thing with April.
yeah,
I mean,
and-
I feel like a totally different human being. I feel like I'm much better than I was when we first got married, specifically because of the conflicts
Yes.
and stuff that we've gone through.
And the hard things I've had to hear.
Definitely.
And I'm like, if I really think about it, I don't think I have one friend that's going to tell me
Right.
the way he tells me.
Right.
Now, I think I do have friends that tell me the truth about myself, but
S-
I'm saying
Same,
it's
but
not
not like
this
this.
level.
Right. I
Not
agree.
this level.
I agree.
And they're not going to see things that
They're not
they
gonna
where
even
they
know
need to
certain
tell
things.
me at
You're
this
right,
level
babe. They're
because
not even gonna know.
I'm never going to be having, I'm not going to have those kinds of interactions
Yes.
with friends like I do with you in order for
Yes.
you to see
Yes.
that side of me to
Right.
have to tell me about myself.
Correct.
So if marriage brings where you're able to see who you really are
Mm-hmm.
and then see, okay, I have some things I need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a huge gain.
That was well said.
Yeah.
I might be
I think
Team
that's
April tonight. That was good. I'm just saying that was good.
Y'all heard that? Primo, did you hear that? I just want to make sure that
So
the
real
Team
quick,
Johns heard that.
real
Okay.
quick though.
Moving on.
Seriously, no, I want to move on because I want to say one more thing about what you just said.
Okay.
So what's funny
I just didn't
is
want you to take that
I
back.
won't take it back. What's funny is that is a gain that feels hard. That's tough. Like when I think of gains,
you're thinking
I'm thinking about stuff that I'm gonna
positives.
like all the time.
Yes,
but
yes,
honestly,
yes.
man, the conflict we've gone through to help us grow, that is a major
That's
gain.
a major gain.
But it mostly feels bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was hard to get. It's like working out. You know what I'm saying? It's like going 2-a-days.
And what's funny
you know what I'm saying?
and what's funny is
At the end, you got a six-pack, but that just hurt.
yeah, but not the end of that day.
No, because it doesn't come that fast.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's years.
So it's over and over again.
Absolutely.
Those that person telling you about yourself about that same thing,
right.
day after a week
Right.
after
And it
month,
finally- and it
years
finally
after year,
sinks in.
finally sinks in. So again, that is you taking your character to heaven.
Right. Very true.
So that's a huge gain.
Look at Deidre. Okay, because Instacart takes care of me when I'm sick. Yeah, your man will do that for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she was saying definitely too, but we put it up
That's
there
a
anyway.
team
Abigail,
right there.
totally being open is important. Yes. Hey, Benicia, how you doing? Okay, so Miss Straight Up No Chaser, what's the deal? I had a
Hey.
male friend that told his fiance the night before the wedding that he didn't think that he could be faithful to her. She decided to
Wow.
marry him anyway.
Guess why they
'Cause
got divorced?
yeah, guess why they got divorced?
He tried to tell her.
That's tough.
So basically, you are, you're making what we were saying true with this story, which is there's sometimes when someone tells you their truth, right? They tell you what
And sometimes they tell you
what's
not in
going to
words.
happen or not going to happen.
Sometimes you can observe it and see it. They don't tell you in words.
That's
but
true.
but
The
people are
red
telling
flags
you
were
their
there.
truth all the time. And the red flags be
Right.
there.
So wanting to get married, and you know what? I have heard some
See,
people
Keith,
say.
Keith even agreed. He said, preach, April.
Thank you, Keith. I have heard some people say that I would rather get married than,
That have never
than
been
to have
married.
never been married.
Yeah,
I'd
let me
rather
get married and let
in
it
a
not work
bad
out.
marriage
Right.
than to never get married. And I'm like, do you? And then
Right.
after it happens, things go bad. Then it's like, man, I would tell someone
To avoid that
opposite.
at all costs.
Yeah.
Right.
it's not what you think. It's
Right.
not, yeah.
Okay. Primo says, are there some things that a partner needs to tell a friend of the same gender but not share with their spouse? That's a very good question.
Well, yes, I was saying that earlier, that there may be some things that you would rather share with a friend
Mhm.
than your spouse because of the nature of whatever it is.
So
I don't think
I'll tell you one thing that I do that with all the time.
who. I mean, what?
So I have a
don't-
couple of friends, one in particular, that I share things about April and me with that person before I share it with April, or sometimes I never share it with April. And that is most of the time, yo, am I tripping? Like, this is what happened. This is how I reacted. Like, you would have done that too, right? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I can't ask April that. She's going to say, yeah, you're tripping. Why would you respond to me that way? You know what I'm saying? So there are some things that I need my male friend who's also married's perspective to find out whether or not I did the right thing in that situation.
Right.
And
Sometimes
so-
you need that perspective. Yeah.
That's definitely a situation. So I would say that's definitely one. There might be a couple other situations like that too.
Well,
like
I mean, you go ahead.
go ahead.
I mean, you could even say there are things that we could keep it light. I mean, there are things that I want to talk to you about that are not very important, really, in life. It's not the most important thing.
Okay.
And you are my best friend, but I really don't want to talk about that with you because you don't really Not that you don't listen, but
Or
that's
you
not
don't.
something you're
You're
interested
not
in. Like
interested in it, right?
you can't talk back with me in a way that I need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You need a certain kind of response from me on certain issues, and you
Yes.
know I don't understand enough about it. I'm not as passionate about it, whatever. But your
Exactly.
sister will be,
Exactly.
or your
And
girlfriend
it
from
could be
college or whatever.
actually a deep situation.
Right.
It may not just be hair talk.
Right.
I mean, it could actually be a deep situation.
Why'd
like
you
even
pick hair talk?
I'm just saying, like I can talk to you about Hair Force to a certain extent.
For
you
like
know what I
5
mean?
minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
And then I'm falling asleep.
I'll be impressed though when later on you say the stuff that I've
Right.
said before. I'll be
like
like,
curtain bangs or something like that.
wow, exactly. but like I may have I may need to talk to my friend or my sister about a situation that happened at work that I may not talk to you about the
Right.
same way
Right.
because I know that I need somebody who's gonna have the same.
Yeah, a teacher who
Yeah,
gets why that's
who
a big
gets why-
deal.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Not me saying why you say that to him.
Exactly.
You want her to be like, man, why would he say that to you?
Right. Well, right.
Right.
But just like pastor stuff, like
Right.
you're not gonna
And
necessarily.
that's what I was about to say. I was about to say, there's some things that I talk to my boys who are pastors because they understand it. Number one, number two, I need my wife to be able to love the members, and I don't
Yes.
want I don't want her to know this certain thing that happened. So,
And also, I may talk to my friend who is a mom,
Right.
who understands as a mother the thing that I'm going through,
Yes.
which you may not.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with that. The only
I
thing
don't
I
either.
would say, the only thing that I would say is when you are talking about maybe your spouse to this other person, I would say that I think that because you may be sharing some personal things about your spouse that you want to make sure he or she is okay with who you are talking
You
to
need to
about
get their
that.
permission
You need-
about being able to talk to
yes,
that person.
Can I talk to Kim
Right.
about
Yes.
me and you and some things
Right.
that may have happened between us?
Right.
And if the answer is yes, then you're free to
Right.
because you
Yeah.
have to respect the person's
Yeah.
privacy.
So-
even,
so
even if it's your spouse,
I
you
want to
have
just say
respect
elephant
that.
in the room stuff real quick because I know what Primo was actually getting at. And there is another situation where I would think, especially for men, that we need this. I think men should have accountability partners. And I think specifically when it comes to faithfulness to their wives, because there are so many ways these days to be unfaithful.
True.
You don't have to just actually sleep with another woman. You could be unfaithful with your eyes on your computer. And sometimes I think your spouse is not the best person to talk to about that first. I think it's better if you had an accountability partner, someone you respect, someone that
Right.
if
That's
you
gonna be
fall
honest
short,
with you.
that too. Not just that they're going to be honest with you, but also if I fall short, that will be disappointed in me.
Wow.
Like I don't need someone who's like reveres me so much that no matter what I say, they're going to just be like, oh, that's okay, John. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a real accountability.
That's a
partner.
real accountability
Yeah.
partner. So you
Yeah.
got to choose the right kind of person. So anyway,
Definitely.
if that's what you're talking about, Primo, that's what,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Madeline says she thought she was going to change his mind.
Oh.
I thought she was talking about me saying the whole thing
Yes,
earlier about I'm
yes.
not going to change. You know what I'm saying? Check from a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with April. Talk with subject matter experts that enjoy the topic. May not be your spouse. April's winning. and he said earlier, he said this is Rob, by the way. He said April's winning tonight, 100.
Rob is Team April tonight.
I think it is healthy to have someone else to share and connect with. I agree. Here to chime in.
What up,
Finally, Saba,
Sobs?
all late and wrong. You know what I'm saying? See, Saba didn't change her clock. You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened.
Wow, I've never asked. That is good. I just be like, girl, listen. I just learned something. Yeah. So I do think, Wanda, that you do need your husband's permission on some stuff.
If you are sharing personal,
Yes. Yes.
situations between you and your spouse,
Be like,
because
are you cool with me talking to
I would
her
not be
about that?
happy if I found out later that John's been telling some, this guy, or even somebody I know that I don't really trust or
Right.
or
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And here you are telling him about me, and then I'm seeing him, and he knows my business.
So
you know what I
there-
mean? Like,
there-
I do believe that.
There are
that's-
times when I talk to certain people that April will say, and I'm just talking to them about regular stuff. April will say, are you sure you wanted to share that with that person?
Right.
So I know, because she thinks that person would tell or whatever. And I know for a fact that if I was telling that person about her, she really wouldn't appreciate that. Because she just doesn't agree with that person knowing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because they be talking. They jibby talk. Okay.
They jibby talk,
Kimberly, man, what's up? This is
Hey,
good.
Kimberly.
Thank you, Kim. By the way, you were just here preaching at CPC this past weekend. I heard it went really well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
and
missed that.
Education Day. And this is why you still need friendship in marriage. Friendships in
Yes.
marriage.
Mm-hmm.
When you get married and lose all the other friendships, that can put a strain on your marriage. I agree.
Yes.
That's part of losing yourself too.
That's a part of you losing
I don't
yourself.
think that when you marry somebody, you should just lose everything that has nothing to do with your marriage. I think it's unhealthy to do that. I think you probably need to prune some of those relationships, but not all of them like that.
No,
You know
and
what
if
I'm
you're in a relationship where your partner is encouraging you to break up with these friendships,
saying? Right.
that can be a sign as well.
That might be a red flag.
That might be a
or
red
at least
flag.
a yellow flag.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Here goes Desi. How much one's spiritual maturity may also come into play when it comes to perspective on various topics. So working on growing spiritually could help on other circumstances or discussions. How have you all grown more spiritual together? That's a good point.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Are you actually? And by the way, growing spiritually together is another thing we gain from getting married.
Right.
When we're doing it right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There should be some spiritual growth there that happens.
And I guess and I really Desi, that's really what I meant when I was saying growing together.
Right.
And when we say growing together, that really is what we didn't say grow spiritually, but that's really
what
what
you're
we
talking
mean.
about.
Because when you're growing together, you're
Yeah.
growing to be better.
Yep.
And that is spiritual growth. You know, you're building your character to be better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's a part of.
So
definitely part of
Madeline
it.
says no. That was pertaining to the one of the chimes that said about the guy who told his fiance that he cannot be faithful to her. She said she thought she could change his mind.
Oh,
That's what she was talking
yes,
about.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
thought that she
That's a
could
good
change
comment.
him.
Yeah.
You can't change people, honey.
Minnie
They
says
have to
some
wanna
things are
change.
best kept to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up, fam? So yeah, you were there. Love you too, by the way.
Love you.
We're glad that you're on
yes.
tonight. Speaking of loss, can you have a best friend of the opposite sex after you are married?
We've talked about that.
I think so. It just has to do
I
with
think
you.
so.
You got to run it past your
No, you had
your spouse.
Yes, I think, and we say this: if you guys can be friends with, like, I don't have to be best friends with her, right? The girl that he's friends with,
Right.
But she needs to respect me.
If she can't be friends with
If she
April,
can't be friends with me, and
then
I'm not talking about as
as
close as
me.
they are,
Right,
because
right.
there's a friend that John has that's a girl that they're very close.
Right.
I'm very good friends with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Not as close as
but
me,
not
but
as close
just
as him.
'cause,
And when
you
she
know.
calls him. She's not calling me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm okay with that because I know that she respects the relationship. She
Right.
respects us. She
Right.
says, "Hey, tell April I
Yep.
said hey."
Yep.
You know, when you have people I've seen, and I have had friends, and I've had to cut them off because I had a friend one time who called me, from high school, and his first question was, "Is that man treating you right?"
She was like, "Man,
I'm
please."
like, dude,
I haven't even talked to you in
you don't
8
even
years.
know
man. You know what I'm saying?
him, like, talking about, because if he not,
I'm like, what
you know,
you
and
gonna
I'm
do?
like, okay, you are not.
Who are you again?
Exactly.
Who is this?
You're not. So, you know, people like that, I think you have to watch people like that.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
he was setting stuff up.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a no.
Yeah, I don't
but
think it's a no-no.
But I definitely think it has to pass the permission test, basically.
And I
what I'm saying?
think that it really shows the security you have in your relationship.
Agreed.
Because if any girl that he has, I tell him, no, you can't have none, I'm not secure in this relationship. I don't trust him.
Mm-hmm.
And some people I've heard say, well, I don't trust the girl.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Primo
There's a
said.
thin line there.
Primo says he's a solid no on opposite sex best friends.
Okay.
Opposite sex friend maybe, but best friend nope.
Okay. But we don't have best friends that are opposite sex.
And that's you're right. We're talking like this now, but we do not have opposite sex best friends.
That's
That's
not
true.
best.
We don't.
No.
That's a good point. My best friend's a guy.
Yeah, because
Her
best friends,
friend's a
you're
girl.
going to be wanting to take trips with them and all that.
Wow. Yeah, you're
Right?
I guess that's true.
But Primo, I'm just gonna say, if the girl that I'm talking about, because I mean I have guy friends, but again they're friends with him too, so you know. But if that girl was a best friend,
would you have an issue with that?
and I'm trying to think, like, what would you be like when I think of the best friends you have?
So let's just
You
say
just talk on the phone with them more.
right.
So how would I feel?
I don't
about
go
you
on
talking
vacation
on
with
the
my best
phone?
friends right now.
No, you don't.
You know what I'm saying?
How would I feel if you were on the phone with the girl as much as you're on the phone with the guys? I don't think I would have a problem with that if she
Right.
respects me.
Right.
If there's a respect there,
Yeah.
and then
But
she
you're right.
wants,
We actually don't have
know?
that situation exactly.
no,
So
we don't. So I
that's
really
hard.
don't know, but
That's a
I
hard
feel
one.
like because
Yeah.
I mean your best friends want to come visit you.
Right.
I wouldn't mind that
Right.
if she's
And-
coming to visit us.
And if she was married, we probably would do things as couples together or something like that. Maybe if the husband was cool too.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't
hard one,
know.
though.
I don't know.
So Praline's Backyard Foundation says, you got me wondering who the guy was. And then Rob says, nope, the
Wonder who
best
the
friend of
guy
the
was.
opposite sex, you marry them.
Oh, that's true.
I guess
That
that's
is
what
kind of
happened.
true. That is
I
true.
married my best. That's very true. April was my best friend of the
That's
opposite
true.
sex. I had to
You
marry
know what?
her.
That's true. And
That's
that's
a good
probably
point.
why we're like, because
Right.
I don't know. But you're right.
Okay, can the best
No.
friend be gay of the opposite sex? Is that okay? So
Yes,
then,
honey. I love me some.
well, hold on.
China.
So hold on. Maybe we should be asking the Chines because he said these two guys both said,
Okay.
both of them said they can't be best friends with someone of the opposite sex. But what if that person does not like the opposite sex? What if they like the same sex? Then is it okay?
I love me some gay guys. I'm gonna just tell you that now.
I don't know why gay guys love April so much.
They love me.
They like gravitate towards her.
I love.
And they
Oh my
just
goodness,
they
we
talk
are
about stuff,
such good
hair,
friends.
and
Like
other
we just
stuff, whatever.
connect
So
so much. Like I don't know.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know, but I guess you're right. Your best friend you're gonna marry. That is true.
Minnie says, "What if you knew each other since childhood?" That's what I was thinking.
Yes, because however, I do know a couple where the guy has a best friend who's a girl, and I'll tell you later who that is.
Okay, because I don't know who you're talking about. I definitely want to know this.
And she is secure and
Just
fine.
like sneeze and say the name. Sneeze. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't do that.
And I think it's about respect. It's about,
And you're saying the wife is okay with him being best friends with this girl?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, do they go out together alone without her? I don't know about that.
Miss Straight Up No Changes says
But-
she's with Rob. She says no opposite sex best friend. So
I don't know if I agree with that all the way.
yeah, I don't know
Not,
either.
well, it's a thin line there.
Let's
There's
have a
thin
show
line
on
there.
that. Let's
It
talk about
depends.
it,
It
you know what I'm saying?
depends.
Okay, so real quick before we go, let's just say what April already said. She already basically teased it. What we said we think we can do in relationship in order to make it so that you're not losing nearly as much as you think you should lose. And that is the blank canvas thing that April said earlier. When you get married, the two of you can create whatever you want. So you don't have to have a situation where the wife feels like a manager
Mm-hmm.
and where the husband feels like he has no freedom.
Mm.
Like literally, all you have to do as a wife is when your husband says wants to go somewhere, don't ask him 50 questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll feel more free.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna go. He'll tell her before he goes and say, okay, babe, I'll see you when you get back. If that's it, you literally just help that man to gain his freedom in that moment.
That's true.
It's that simple.
And honestly, there has to be trust there because I think some women
Clearly.
who have tons of questions, there's trust issues.
That's very true. Sometimes that's not it though. Sometimes
It's
you
controlling issues.
just
Yeah,
or
I'm
sometimes you just want me to leave you at that moment. Like you
Yeah.
want us to be together
Right.
and I want to leave.
And you
know
know
what I'm
what?
saying?
And you know what? We talked about this, and I think that's when transparency comes in. Because I think if I said to you, rather than asking 50 questions, if I said to you, you know what, babe, I've been working a lot lately, and I really miss you.
I would love it if you stayed
I would
home
love it if
with
you
me right
stayed
now.
home, 'cause
If she said that, I'd literally drop my keys, get right back in the bed.
We don't do
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
But
No,
we don't do that. I'm talking
We
about
don't.
we in general. We don't
You're right.
do that.
You're right.
We say, you leaving again? You
Right.
just went out with them yesterday.
Right.
Rather than saying what you
Yep.
really feel. And
Yep.
you know why we don't say that? Because
don't wanna get
are
hurt.
afraid to be rejected.
Yeah. That's
So
all
if
it
I
is.
were to say, instead of asking tons of questions or getting an attitude about you going out again, if I
Mm-hmm.
were to say, you know what, babe, I'm sorry. I really miss you.
Mhm.
We haven't been together for a couple days,
Mhm.
and I'm actually missing you, and I would love to
Mhm.
spend some time with you. And then the husband be like, well,
Please, girl.
we'll hang out tomorrow
Right.
because I can't miss this
Yeah,
with
that
my
hurts.
boys.
Right.
That hurts.
Right. Right.
And so you're protecting yourself.
Right.
That's
true.
really what that is.
But
So-
I think there's a way I could say that would hurt less. If I said, "Oh man, you know what, babe? You're right. I miss you too. But man, this is the Super
This
Bowl.
is the playoffs.
No, so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Something.
yeah.
And he has a 100-inch TV. I
Right.
gotta watch it over there. You want
Right.
to come? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So similarly, though, I feel like all we have to do as husbands is actively be involved as a real teammate with our wives, and she won't feel like a manager
That's
anymore.
very
Like
true.
literally go through the exercise of divvying up the chores between each other and deciding who's going to do what. And even if you decide she's going to be the head of cooking, you say, I'm going to take a few nights a week so that she doesn't have to do it all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, now the thing she thought she was going to lose because she got married, she literally does not lose.
Yeah,
Like-
and she feels, wow, we're doing this together. Oh, I thought it was going to be all on me. It's not, That is super, man. I don't think that men realize how much how I'm gonna say powerful.
It's powerful, right?
How powerful it is
Yeah.
when there is an actual team.
Yeah.
A teammate in the
Yeah,
home,
right.
you know what I mean,
Yeah.
for the wife. When it,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm not trying to say that that it's like this. Well, I do believe that
Yeah,
women do
don't
feel
lie.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
is
then
what it
there's
is.
some men who feel this way too. There's some men who feel that they are. I know men who feel like they are the main
Yes.
caretaker.
Yes, I
of
can
the
think
home.
of a few right now
I can
because
think
they're
of
stay-at-home
several
dads
right now.
and they feel the exact same way.
So
Yes.
I think it goes both ways.
Yes.
But I do believe that the one who is feeling like that, the
Yeah.
other should be like, you know what, and this is another thing. When you say you're gonna do something, if you say you're gonna be the one to clean the bathroom, then you have to do
You have to
it.
actually do it. Yeah.
And I think that's
Follow
where
through.
there's issues too. There's no follow through.
Definitely.
And I want to say to Elise or whatever. She
That's her
said
name?
That was Prob, my
I love that
sister
name.
from GAAA days. So is this she's talking about, I don't know what she's referring to.
Is that our Elise?
Elise, I think so. I think is this Elise
Is that Wiesem?
Patrickson or
Whatever.
but
the
she
point
said
is.
gay men love pretty women. Duh.
Oh, that's what it
Oh,
is.
is that what it is?
Oh.
Okay.
That
I love
was
me
that
some
was
gay
nice.
men.
That was nice to say that
I
you're
love me
pretty.
some gay men. Thank you.
So whoever that was that said that, that was Elise again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Elise again. That's
She
what I said.
she has eyes that work.
Oh my goodness.
So Abigail says it all comes down to trusting each other. Very true. Wanda says, I don't mind. There has to be boundaries and respect. So she doesn't mind if the husband has a best friend that's the opposite
There has
sex.
to be boundaries and respect. Yeah.
Hugh says it only works if each person can self-reflect on their respective family dynamics from their past and not bring that into the marriage.
And that, you know
that's
what?
probably true.
And that, no, seriously, the family thing.
That
is
huge.
the thing,
You're right.
man.
Yeah.
That is so
Look, okay,
true.
okay. Here's what Miss Trinidads Chasers say. Here's her argument against it.
Okay.
Best friends hug, touch, hang out. Now imagine after a tough moment with your spouse, they decide to go hang out with their best friend of the opposite sex. Problem? Yes, I think so.
Yeah, you're right.
But in most
That's
situations, I'm not hanging out with my best friend of the same sex in those tough situations. I'm hanging with my wife.
Yeah.
So who is
You're
actually
not-
my best friend?
But
So.
but you know what? You're just not one that, I'm going out tonight and then you go hang out with your. But
Facts.
there are guys who do.
Yeah,
there are a lot.
right.
There's several.
Yeah,
who,
I'm just
who
not that
say,
guy.
Yeah, but there's people who they get up. They're not having a great whatever. They say, hey, girl, hey y'all, let's hang out, whatever, with your best friends. So if the best friend is opposite sex, I do think that could be.
That'd be a problem.
That could be a temptation. That could
Yeah.
be a temptation.
Wanda says April facts. It can be a turn on. Talking about husbands
right.
really being, a teammate and really
a
getting
teammate.
involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so
Consistent teammate.
all I'm saying is bottom line is this. You do not have to follow whatever traditional aspects of marriage are in place that make it so that you would lose something. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying have a conversation about it, talk to each other, share your expectations, and then say, here's what I'm afraid of. I feel like I might lose myself, which April said. I feel like I might lose my freedom, which is what I said. And then say why I feel that way. And then make a determination that in your relationship, you're not going to do that.
That's right.
I mean, y'all have the
It's
power.
all about making your own
No one else is in
decisions.
your marriage.
It's your choice.
Well, that's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Except for the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord.
The Lord.
That's it. You know
That's
what I'm
it,
saying?
y'all. DJ Sam said, peace from Alabama, y'all. Okay,
Oh,
we got
all right.
somebody from Alabama. Hey,
Alabama.
welcome. and Shanice says, and stop bringing up how. Okay.
How was your upbringing?
Oh, how
And
was your
that's
upbringing? And
Why
that's why
certain things get a
passed.
pass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is how I was
That's
brought
true.
up. That's why we say
It
you
shouldn't matter.
have to put everything aside and
Yep.
then you two decide what this new family is going to
That's
look
right.
like.
That's right.
And you can actually be married and you can stop right now in your marriage and say, we're about to stop everything. We're going to put everything on the table
Yep.
and we're going to pick up what it is that we're going to decide to
Yep.
do now.
And
you
do
can
it again.
start over.
So this is what
You
Kim says.
can.
Rewrite the script so that the roles work for you both and be
Yes.
willing to revisit the roles as seasons change. That's what
Yes.
April and I always say. We had to revisit
Revisit.
it
You
multiple
have
times.
to.
There are many different things that I used to do that she now does and vice versa.
Because it changes
Because
based
the
on
seasons change.
circumstances.
That's it.
I
Happens all the
I
time.
didn't work and then I did. John,
Kids were small, now they big.
John started his doctorate at some point.
Yep.
And there wasn't much of a teammate there, but I
Yeah.
knew I was ready for that
Right.
because we discussed it. We talked
Yep.
about it.
Yep.
So
Madeline says-
really goes back to communication.
It really does. Make sure if you're having a spat with your husband, do not
Do not.
lean on another man. That's a no-no.
That's true. And don't lean on another woman. That's a no-no.
That's
No, that's
definitely true.
you right.
You're right about that. All right, is this the end of the
And
show
then
right
they
here?
be like, well, she's like my sister. We grew up together. You know,
Yeah.
there was a movie about that.
Was there?
I'm trying to remember the movie.
Well, either way, the point is, Team John and Team April tonight. I already know I'm actually Team April. I wish, we don't have no thing to be able to put up here. I'm actually Team April every night because, But in this situation, Miss Trader Rotation says, John picks up April's shoes.
Yes, he
Very
does.
true. Kelly!
He does pick up my shoes.
Communication and
What
transparency
up,
is key.
Kelly?
Transparency is key. That's so true.
Kelly, hi.
Just lean on each other. Very true. Look at Praline's Backyard Foundation, Team April. By the way, I don't know who you are.
Oh.
Maybe you normally watch the show, Praline's Backyard Foundation, and you normally watch under your normal name, but this time you're watching under your business name.
Or you
We're not
normally
sure who you
don't
are.
chime in.
Maybe you're
your first time.
It's your first time.
chiming
You know
in.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like to know who you are.
Yeah,
though.
are you
That'd
a
be
first
good.
time chimer?
Wanda is Team April. Rob is Team April. Sorry, John. Hey, man, do not apologize. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Madeline, Team April. Abigail, Team April, all the way.
Let me see what Primo talking about.
John knows where I'm going when I say something. April can't do that, so Team John.
Wow.
Yeah! Kelly says, I miss you so much. We miss you too. We need to get together for something.
We
We're not
have
even sure
got
what,
to
you know
connect.
what I'm
Y'all need to come on and visit. Y'all need to come on up here on vacation. to
Okay. So this is Orazi Denise.
Okay.
And she watches
The
normally
replay.
the replay. So that's why. So we don't
So
normally
you
see
are
you
a
live
chime.
chiming. You're definitely a chime.
But this is the first time you chiming live.
That's cool. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Thank
so
you.
glad to have you on here.
Not really welcome because you've been here for a long time. Apparently, we just didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Abigail, love you both. Yes, love you
too.
Miss Trade Notation, Team April, she preached. Yes, she
Aw,
did.
Thank you, T.
Melissa, Team April.
Straight up
Melissa
no
Harris
chaser.
Boone, Team April.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Melissa.
well, I got Molly Wop tonight, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. We got somebody over
Babe,
here.
you did great. You did great, too.
DJ Sam's Mike says I'm Team Nixon. That's good. So that means I got at least 2 votes
got
tonight.
2 votes.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, that's hilarious. We went to GAAA and on my way pod together.
Oh my goodness. You went to GAAA?
Really?
Listen.
Were you in the same? Were you like in the same class as April?
Yeah, you
That's
have
what I
to
wanna know.
remind me. Oh, you got another vote, baby.
You talking about Team Nixon? Yeah, sucker. I only have 1 vote by myself tonight, though. You know what I'm saying?
Thank y'all.
That was fun.
Tonight.
Oakwood.
Oh,
So
I need to see a picture.
you went to Oakwood together, but you did not go to GAAA together, which means you're probably 2 years behind April.
Or
because
I
April
left-
was a
I left and went to Pine Forest.
yeah, she went to Pine Forest
Yeah.
junior and senior year. So maybe you were at GAAA during that time. Who knows? Either way.
And I'm terrible with
Welcome.
remembering names. But I
Yeah.
do remember faces. So I would love to see a picture.
We'll look her up after this. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'll look you up.
She's on with John. Oh, you were with me.
Oh, okay.
You were in Tara Young's class? Really? Oh my goodness. Tara, that's Benji's wife.
Right.
Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure that's right. Minnie says, I got to give you props, but it has to be Team John. Yeah! Because you're my childhood friend. That's a good point. Yeah, see, Minnie and I go way back to Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was little then. and she knows Kim and stuff too because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because of Kim's time in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. She said exactly. We will see you all.
That's why I said it was my sister who called you from GAAA, the negative one. No, it was a guy who called me, not your sister.
That's hilarious.
I'm not gonna say no names because I don't know who know him, so I don't want to put him on blast like that. But I did say to myself.
Vinny said Boston in the house, by the way.
Yeah, I did say to myself though, bruh. Like,
come on, man. Hey, y'all, we're going to see y'all next week right here, 9 o'clock. For those of y'all that didn't change your clocks, 8 o'clock.
You can't do that, babe. See y'all next week.
Abigail said it was a nice show tonight. Thank you very much. One love.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, next week, y'all.